Hello guys, what's up and welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUpArchStudio. In this tutorial, I'm going to show how we can create some super realistic interior render in ENSCAPE 3.5.6 for SketchUp. So before we start this tutorial, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Let's get to work. I'm gonna start my job with setting out my camera shot. So I'm gonna press F on my keyboard and select it from this place at the left side. So I'm gonna click on it in here. 001 is my camera, so I'm gonna close it in this place, and I want to start my job with adding my resolution. So for adjusting your resolution, you need to click on the visual setting and change it to the output and change it to the custom, and now you can adjust your render frame. But right now I need to use default Enscape buffer, so Ultra HD is my best resolution for this job, but for tutorial and training I prefer to use full HD model in here. So I'm going to close it in this place and turn on the save frame. Now I have some cut it out save frame at the right side and left side. So I'm going to click on the visual setting and start my job with reducing the field of view to some number like this, and I think it's completely okay for me. So 69% is enough for this case, and I want to turn off the auto exposure, so I'm going to move it in this place in here, and I want to play with the auto exposure to some number like that. So I will pause my job in here and go to the atmosphere, and our sun direction completely related to our inside and interior of this house. So if I reduce the sun brightness to some number about 0, we can see some type of calculated GI brightness in our interior job. So if I turn on the auto exposure again, I can see better view of my render. So I will reduce it to the some number about maybe 34 is good, and I need to adjust some other options for it. So I'm going to turn on the depth of field, turn off the autofocus, play with the focal point, and I want to focus on the sofa or the back side of it, some wall state decoration. 5.56 is enough, and depth of field will be reduced to the 11%. I don't need any type of a special outline, but if you need to turn all of these edges to the line, you can change it to the 8% for the outline. In the image bar, I will use the auto contrast. And if you want to increase your sun, you can go to the atmosphere and play with it. If I change it to the 1%, you can see the changes like that. And I think it's really suitable for our job. But if I want to see it much sharper, I can go to the skybox and turn off the density, variety, size amount, and contrast. So my source is white ground, don't touch it. And in the image bar, I will come back and start my job with increasing saturation. So if I increase the saturation, I can make this warm colors much warmer. So 114% is good. And if you want some warm render for this screen, because in this place we have cold colors and in this place we have warm colors. So if you want to set it out in some good channel of colors, you can reduce the color temperature to the warm colors. For example, 5000 Kelvin is enough, and effects related to 12. Lens flare is about 46 or maybe 66, like that, and I can reduce the bloom to the 9%. So I want to decrease the vignette because our screen is dark enough, and I want to reduce this darkness. 11 is good. Chromatic is about 0. In the atmosphere, I will turn off the fog option because I need some good calculation in my GI. Night sky is not really useful, and shadow sharpness. So look at these places in here. When I increase the shadow sharpness, I can see some hard shadows in here. And if I play with the sun direction, I can change these shadows like that. So it completely depends on you. So if I press F and change my camera shot, my sun will be changed immediately. And I prefer to use some soft shadows for my interior rendering. So some number about maybe 16% is enough. In the artificial light brightness, I will increase it to the 122, and ambient brightness related to our interior hyperlight. So for increasing some lights in here, I prefer to increase the ambient brightness to the 91%. When it is not really necessary and everything is done. So now I want to close the Enscape tool now. So I'm going to click on the close option, Control S. Everything is done. And I will go to the file management, file D, and I will search it out IES. I'm not sure about it, so IES lights in here, about 30 models of it, and I will click on it. So I will come back to the SketchUp environment, Control S, click on the Enscape objects, like that. Click on the spotlight and draw one small spotlight for myself. So I will change it to one of these customize IES profiles. So I prefer to check out, for example, number 5 and open it. So I need to increase the size of it and intensity of it. So I need to set some value, for example, 80, and I'm gonna click on the move option another time and move it to some place like that. So I want to rotate it, but I don't know how, so I can click on it, rotate it like this, and move it a little bit in here and here. So I need to take some multiple copies, for example, 4 times, something like that. And I need to add some warm color for them. So I will come back to my camera shot. Don't worry about these spotlights. And I need to take another copy of it in the back side of this sofa. And I will talk about why. Because I need to increase my light power in my area. So I will rotate it like this. Click on it, move it to the back side of my wall, and here, and here. So everything is done. Move it to the interior. The light is selected. I will move it in here. Camera number 1. So I'm gonna start Enscape another time because I need to control my lighting in my interior view. If this content is useful for you till now, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. I'm gonna press F, camera number 1, and I can see some light shadows in here. So I can push them and cover them by zooming more on my project, but I don't like to do this because it's a little bit beginner. But if I minimize it in here, click on the SketchUp and select one of these lights in here, click on the Enscape objects, I can increase the power of it, something like this. For example, 600 candela. And right now I can zoom a little bit, for example, 66, something like that. So about the color of this light, we have lots of work to do. So I'm going to click on the paint bucket, select my color tool, and select one of these warm colors, for example, Bisco. And I'm going to add it to my lights. And you can see the changes in the back side, which related to the Enscape. And back side of this sofa, this light. So I'm going to click on it, click on the make unique because all of them is the one component. So I want to make this light unique. I select on it, click on the Enscape objects, and if I increase the power, you can see some light in the backside. So be careful, don't make some artificial render. We need some realistic lighting. Something like that is good. And I'm gonna close it. If I click on the visual setting another time and go to the atmosphere and increase the artificial light brightness, it will increase my light power in my area. So 150% is enough. I will click on the F option, camera edit, move a little bit to the left side, a little bit to the downside. My Y is about 1.4 and Z is about -4.6, and click on the save option, fill the view and decrease it as I can to some type of decayed number. For example, 62. Close it, and now time for the rendering. So I'm going to click on the screenshot, and I want to save it on my desktop, and it's related to interior 01, and I'm going to press save. It takes a little bit of time, and after that Enscape will save this render for you. After all of these jobs, your render will be complete and your lighting will be matched with your environments. So I'm going to check out my rendering, and this is the final job. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If this tutorial useful for you, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.